when we can recap jokes from this past weekend. What does baseball allow us to do? It allows us a lot of free time because there's not a whole lot of action going on, so we can have in depth conversations, and I can now commandeer your scout brain into having you think what I think about the team that I cheer for. Palo Alto Community's local baseball program. Visiting Fullerton. So, joke number one was referee. Because in baseball, it's called the home plate umpire. But when scouts call it a referee, that makes it funny. And then I said line judge. And because baseball has a recall effect, now whenever I'm saying line judge, I'm laughing again because of a joke that I told. Why? Because referee is so wrong, it's back to being right again. Because what you're doing is you're baiting a person to be, hey, do you know that I actually know what an umpire is, but I refuse to adhere to societal norms. I refuse to adhere to baseball language of umpire. I'm going to call him a referee, and I'm going to heap on and add to the humor, which is the interruption, the expected, by calling you a line judge. At baseball, am I trying to make you laugh? Yeah. At baseball, am I trying to nitpick the players to add value by coaching them? No, 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 no. You, the players that are undergrads, that are in college, you mentor me. Oh, you must be joking because you're so smart at blah, blah, blah. You must be here to coach people up. Oh no, we are not coaching anybody. We being me, Larry Chiang. Hi, it's good to hang out with you. We are not going to be coaching anybody up. We are going to get coached. Example number 100 plus, which is I met people that are agents and representatives of Stanford baseball. And so what I decided to be mentored is in this component. I never would have thought to bring my attorney with me to a baseball game. I am learning from you, the undergrads, because your student athlete representation is now being represented in the stands by bringing your lawyer to a baseball game. What am I going to start doing? Bringing my attorney. Do you see how hilarious that is? Like, who brings an attorney to with them to a baseball game? Like, if you bring an attorney to the meeting, that meeting just took on a different pace and tempo. And so now, what if we're looking at Larry Chang with dog, my service animal, and an attorney? You'd be like, oh my God, this isn't just like an entourage of having hotties roll with you. This is even better because now you have a dog and an attorney. Where am I getting this from? I'm getting this from the stands where I meet people at that are wearing the S. Where they're wearing this logo, and I'm saying, hey, I don't know who you are. I want to hang out with you. But first, why don't you tell me your name? Or this classic. It's got the sweat stains. Smells like victory. Ooh, and this hat. It's perfectly aged. Should I wear this hat now? I better not because Stanford kids yell at me when I take off my cowboy hat, which is another component. Put a pin in that for a second. So I'm meeting people and they're telling me that they represent an athlete. And I'm like, represent an athlete? What do you mean represent an athlete? Oh my God, I should bring representation. So that way, when people say, hey, you in the Stanford head to toe gear, do you have a child on the team? And they'll be like, no, I don't have a child on the team. I am here to represent Larry Chiang as his attorney. I mean, that is delicious. Example number 106 of me getting mentored. This is last year at Team Hotel at breakfast. I want to say his name is 49. Drew Dowd screams, Chang, where's your cowboy hat? Where's my cowboy hat? Like, I, I wasn't aware that I gave consent for random undergrads to yell at me. But now I realize you can go ahead and yell at me as much as you want. Why? Because I want the mentorship to go from student undergrad to me, the super fan. I can call myself a super fan if I go to every away game. And so together, we can be coached up how? By realizing people in the real world, before they give us money in business, they will yell at us. Before people who are prospects think about inking a contract, they will test us by coaching us up. Some might think it's yelling because it sounds like it's enthusiastic and energetic language. It is not yelling. It is the extinction burst before money goes from their pocket into our pocket. That's the protocol which I learned from my baseball coach who used to coach at Cal State Fullerton, Augie Garrido. He talks about psycho-cybernetics, the language, gestalt, and language prior to people giving you money. Do you see the juxtaposition from coach to mentee? Do you guys see the hilarious stand-up comedy routine of who's telling the jokes and who is paying attention to jokes, where if the joke doesn't land, i.e., if people don't laugh, was something useful still conveyed? So, what is baseball? Baseball is a game of negativity, failure, even. Judged by who? Non-positive people. What kind of environment? In a misinformation environment where the information and data is not perfect. Because entrepreneurship is similar. It's a game of failure judged by negative people in an environment where the information is asynchronous. The information is askew. The information sucks sometimes, but we're still needing to judge people. Where am I going to judge other people? Because if I'm judging other people, what if I'm negative? I mean, I'm never negative, but then that's what makes the juxtaposition humorous, which is Stanford University undergrads, you mentor me. Now, what does that relieve? It relieves the pressure of, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk to Larry Chiang, my super fan, and he's probably going to give me some horrible advice. And now I got to pretend like I'm nodding like I care because I don't want to offend him. That's how you manage a 30 plus year old fan when you're 19 years old. Like you kind of don't want to talk to your fans, and your fans kind of creep you out a little bit. Now, Drew Dowd was the person that yelled at me for not wearing a cowboy hat. Now he's in the pros. Is this what we want to do? Yeah, because it turns out this is the bark. This is the humorous, non expected thing, which is professional shortstop, second baseman, middle infielder who's going to go into the Hall of Fame. Why? Who? What? Nico Horner. He met me where I wanted to meet him, and he says this: Hey, thank you for the coverage. I wanted to meet you. Do you see how you're juxtaposing what's to be expected with being proactive? I mean, you're going to have to meet a fan later anyway, and he's going to ask for a selfie. And so you might as well just make the best of it. That's what is both humorous and useful. Because do you see why this is stand-up comedy? But it's also relatively useful because it's a life hack to go to student baseball games and not give advice. It's counterintuitive to be of coaching age yet never coach. It is an interruption of the expected. It is an interruption of the expected to be coached as the person of coaching age. Here's an example. Leadoff, walk, game one, leadoff hitter. 1-2 count sees two consecutive changeups that are perfectly placed. Next time I speak to leadoff hitter, let's call him Cort, C-O-R-T, because that's his name, I will ask, hey, how did you take that pitch in game one at bat number one? Because now I'm getting mentored. And do you see how when the coach is getting mentored, now I'm locking in the fact that you're the teacher. How does this apply to our YouTube practice? This is how. I'm not necessarily your mentor or your educator or your speaker. I am asking us to do video club together. Why? Because one, it's hilarious. Two, it doesn't scale, but it'll help you because initially I can have personal attention at subscribers below 800. I literally have fewer than 800 subscribers. I have more family members than that. So it must mean that I have a one-to-one relationship with subscribers. So, what does this one-to-one relationship look like? I think it's awesome because this is how it might work out should you decide to join something that's Hi Larry Ass. Hilarious. Get it? Hi Larry Ass. I'm kind of a ass, but I'm also hilarious. And I'm not an ass like I'm going to screw you out of money. I'm an ass because I just tell truths that are knowledge bombs, and I kind of don't care if I hurt your feelings. Am I yelling at you? No, I'm just being honest with you. And maybe that's your first Chinese friend. Maybe it's your first person that is gonna hang out with you to do video club. So, one-to-one, right? And if you're not a subscriber, it'll just be rando stranger to specific YouTube non-influencer, but sure does have a lot of enthusiasm and sure does come up with some interesting perspectives. For example, entrepreneurship is a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. We are repurposing Tom House, who said that about baseball. Baseball is a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. We could do art of the cowboy hat financing. Your jokes are going to land perfectly when we do something magical. Let me finish that last point, which is video to video, we can collaborate by remixing and then hitting green screen or collab why and what. In focused on a topic tree, Dan Coe talks about this, where our topic tree is our 5 video playlist going from 0 to cowboy hat money. Like it's ramen profitable, but now it's cowboy hat profitable. So we were joking about art of cowboy hat financing. Let's win at entrepreneurship, art of cowboy hat financing. This is how it goes. We sell one size of hat, but we don't buy that hat made by Resistol, by the way. We don't buy that hat until we sell it. So, there is no financing, but that's the art of cowboy hat financing, is that we do a lemonade stand business. What's a lemonade stand business? It's 2 little kids selling sugar water with lemon. That's a lemonade stand business. And then when you make $10, then you feel like you're super confident. When was the last time you hung out a sign and then sold something? It's probably been a while. Is this the most street smart thing that you can do? Yes. Why? Because providing customer service and doing sales and following up on details, it turns out that that's incredibly difficult. And so to encapsulate the value of this video with stand-up comedy that's 110% hilarious and 120% accurate, the art of cowboy hat financing, in the comments, not me, is this. We want to sell a cowboy hat first, and then we want to buy one. We want to sell it for $200, and then we want to buy it for $45 from my buddy Jeff's website. It's a South American river. Amazon. If the hat does not arrive, we email jeff@amazon.com. Oh, are these jokes because you're trying to be funny? Well, even if you didn't laugh, all of that information completely checks out. And so, who wants to join in the art of cowboy hat financing where we sell cowboy hats at a music festival or film festival? Comment who wants to make, I don't know, $50. Thank you for subscribing, but in addition to subscribing, do you want to do a lemonade stand business together? One-to-one attention. One-to-one attention. Should I keep going, or do you guys want to lock in some of this knowledge and then follow up on it? I'm flexible either way. To recap, we talked about juxtaposing who the coach is and who the student is. Recapping what was said earlier, do we want to do a kid business as an adult who is getting coached by Stanford undergrads? Recapping an earlier thing that is legit and hilarious, which is bringing an attorney with you to the baseball game, which is what a Stanford student athlete in baseball taught me over the weekend at Cal State Fullerton University, where you bring your agent to the baseball game. So if you're bringing your agent to a baseball game, it's like me bringing an attorney to a baseball game. And bringing a starfish to the baseball game. Come on. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Look. It lights up and it changes colors. Starfish. Begs me to ask the question, do you know the difference between a starfish and a hole in the ground? Do you know the difference between a starfish and your butthole?